Hey, Internets! It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are here talking about Star Trek Discovery, Season 2, Episode 6, The Sounds of Thunder.
Not sound.
Right. Which is very important, I think. Ish. All right. So, what is that title? All right, well, of course, there's the Ray Bradbury short story, A Sound of Thunder. Got turned into a not-so-great movie with Ben Kingsley in it. Anyway, but you probably know this. It's been also parodied many times. It's been The Simpsons, but it's the idea of like, hey,
Futurama.
in the future, Futurama, you go back in time, you can go on a dinosaur hunt, but only hunt those dinosaurs that are about to get killed off anyway because we don't want to screw with the future. Oh, you stepped on a butterfly. Now there's a new election and people are speaking different and everything's horrible. And in fact, the Sound of Thunder is, spoiler alert, the guy getting shot at the end is kind of punishment for changing the future irrevocably. So the fact that this show obviously is referencing that very strongly, but it makes it a plural, the Sounds of Thunder, suggests to me that it's referencing the Red Angel constantly time traveling to these, 7 different locations. Theoretically, is what we've got 7. We're at 3 now,
Yeah.
but on this way to 7 to screw with the past, and that maybe the Sound of Thunder, a Sound of Thunder, the story has a dystopian view of what that means. It suggests at this point that the Red Angel is doing things for a beneficial purpose, but perhaps there could be unknown circumstances, and we'll talk about this in terms of the decision that was made in this episode with the Kelpians, but maybe best of intentions screw things up when you're time traveling multiple times to try to fix the past. So anyway, it's just interesting that they chose that title.
Sure.
I think it also suggests that maybe there's some problems ahead.
Maybe.
But
who knows?
yeah, who knows? Who knows? If you've got a better idea out there, for what the title means, feel free to put it in the comments, and we will chat about it. All right, so boom. We'll do the little side plot first because we can kind of get rid of that quickly. The side plot for this episode was more about Culber, who's just come back. He was just resurrected, more or less, last episode. He's now back on the ship. But we learn that basically he is, in some ways, an exact copy of himself. Like he was reconstituted from the DNA patterned by the mycelial network, and so his body doesn't have the scar anymore from this incident that he had where he wanted to keep the scar.
That's what makes me like exact copy. It's sort of like he was reconstituted with the idea of this is how you make a human, and this is how you would make this human, but not as he was before he went in, because there are certain things that are different. So,
yeah,
sort of like, well, this is
good
how.
point. He would have had the scar if he was an exact duplicate.
Right. So, in other words, it's sort of like a genetic copy, because
he has memories.
Right. That's true. Yeah. So he's that too. Yeah. So his genes say this is how you make my arm. The genes wouldn't know. Put a scar there. So
right.
His genes say this is how you make him at this age.
right, exactly. Assuming he lifted these many weights.
Yes, exactly.
He ate this many chips. So he's back, but he doesn't feel like himself. He's feeling, there could be again kind of a negative connotation to, it could be some reveal later in a future episode. It's like, oh my God, I can't be in this world.
Which, they should tread lightly.
That's right. Just brought him back. Versus. And fridge him now. Okay.
Delayed fridge.
Delayed fridge. Fridge part 2. But anyway, he's back. Generally, folks are happy he's back.
Yes.
He's not so sure he's back.
Yeah,
I guess, in a way.
They definitely seem to be leading to the point where it's like stop being so damn happy that I'm back.
Now this was the
Stamets.
Yeah, Stamets is like just grinning like like a little kid standing next to him.
He's like, stop touching me.
Now, what was interesting, I thought, from this little short subplot was Saru comes to talk to Culber and tries to connect with him in a way that at first sounds like, oh, right, that makes sense. Because Saru just had this experience where he, metamorphosized.
Sure.
And so he's like, hey, look, I know what it's like to, go through this process where you don't feel like you're the same person anymore.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
But it was the end of that where Saru, I think, doesn't follow it through. Where he's like, so basically what it probably means is that you're now what you were meant to be.
Yeah, what the heck?
It's like, wait,
who
what?
wanted me to be this?
Who wanted me to be an exact duplicate of myself? With what? I don't like. It makes sense in Saru's version, where he's now, oh, look, I was always meant to be this fearless guy. But it doesn't really translate. The analog doesn't work when it comes to guy who was stuck into my serial network and made an exact copy, and now he's back. But now it's who you're meant to be.
Yeah.
Like, what? What do you... Thanks for the pep talk, Saru. Anyway, so that's essentially the subplot, right? I mean, there's nothing else really to talk about there. We're not left with an answer like, oh, he's the devil now. Whatever. He's getting along, but there may be trouble ahead. Okay. So the main plot is the Red Angel shows up again. Boing! New marker. The third marker we've seen.
It was like the captain was doing something else before you found
He
out.
was talking, actually, this scene actually annoyed, it actually made me kind of sick to watch.
Oh.
It's the scene where Ash Tyler, Burnham, and the captain are talking around a map of this various things, and it's just spinning around them. The entire conversation. It's just in this constant. I'm like, there's no need for you to keep spinning around their faces right now. They're just standing in one place talking. That was a bad choice. I'll just say that. Directorially, I was not impressed with the choice.
See, if I was the director, what I would have done probably is, and then shown that it was Tilly the whole time with the camera going around, and then that would have put you over the edge.
It would have.
You were like, ah!
Yeah, blur. No, that was totally unnecessary and in fact very distracting and kind of like off-putting. I was like, I'm even just dizzy a little bit.
Yeah, because thank you, because I'd forgotten what was happening before that. So it just makes it like, oh, so we're talking about these things. Oh, boom, and now there's a new one.
Right.
And I was gonna say the thing that was kind of annoying to me. Okay, let's go to that place where it is. Oh, it's in my backyard or whatever my planet that Saru says.
Kaminar.
They get there, and no, there's nothing. It's gone.
So, again, like, I thought maybe this was the case in a previous episode, and so I thought this one, I will not think this again, because it's been wrong twice now. Oh. But I thought maybe, it's newfound courage, kind of, jerk Saru, maybe
it's making
planted it, because he wanted to go there anyway to fix the problem. He's like, look! Yeah. The red marker! And so it was only I thought that until his sister confirmed. It was like, oh yeah, the red thing. I was like, oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. It wasn't Saru.
Why'd you think it was last time? Or just in this episode you thought that?
No, it was in a previous episode where I thought, well, maybe it's not an actual red marker, but it's just in their computers. Like, it's just telling them there's a red marker, and that's why they don't actually
and you thought it was Saru?
No, I didn't think it was Saru, but I didn't know how. But I just thought maybe instead of being an actual manifestation, it's just something that somebody's put into their computer sensors.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So in this case, I thought it was Saru, just like, hey, look, it said we had to be here.
Yeah, it says
we might as well
that we overthrow this.
Might as well kill everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but he didn't. He didn't do that. It was actually this Red Angel, which obviously I think Burnham says this isn't random or something. Yeah, no, it's not random. That would be the worst possible resolution to this. Even with time travel, which I'm not a big fan of, if the end result was just like, know what? It was just completely random. It just so happened that everything that they needed involved you. Like, no! All right, so no, they're not doing that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're not doing that, damn it. Okay, I've seen some pretty crazy theories about the Red Angel. I don't think I've even seen that one because everybody's like, no way, that's just a random thing that they happen to be involved in.
No.
So they go to the planet. Yes, the red marker. Basically, it just seems like the red marker is there to direct them to wherever they need to be at a certain time. And once they arrive, it goes away because they don't need it anymore.
It certainly seems that way.
Come here. You're here. Great. I don't need us anymore. So they arrive, and Pike decides to talk to the Baul. Hey, Baul, did you guys see a red marker around here anywhere? And the Baul are like, check their weapon systems and look hostile. So that doesn't work. They don't get any help from the Baul. We also do learn the Baul are a warp society.
Yes.
Have been for several years.
Yeah, and they had to negotiate a sort of like, stay out of our business thing with the Federation.
We want to eat people, so don't. I know if they're eating them. I guess
we don't know.
We want to murder people, so let us do that in peace.
Yeah,
okay, great. So even though they must know about what happened because they've had Saru for 18 years.
Yeah,
and I assume told them what was going on the planet.
Right.
It didn't just hide that info.
No, well.
So all right. So yeah, the Baul are not being helpful. So it's like, all right, well maybe the people on the surface, the Kelpians, can be helpful. There's an argument where Pike doesn't want to send Saru down because he's not really sure about his state of mind at the moment with his new evolutionary change.
Yes.
He
was gonna clock him.
Yeah, there's a confrontation moment. Like, are you threatening me? What I don't know.
He didn't say it, but he was just sort of like, he kept saying like, "What? You don't think I can do it? You don't think I'm capable of it? Like, you don't think?"
And he's like, I do like the fact that he's, like
he's
foot
not
taller.
Yeah, he's a foot
So
taller,
like,
and Pike is not. He's like, I'm still gonna say what I'm gonna say.
I love the way I hadn't really noticed this, but I watched it this time. I like the way that Doug Jones walks.
Oh yeah,
he does that little arm swing thing in the
back. Yes.
It's kind of cool.
That's because he's on heels.
Right. Which, boy, his sister was wearing some gigantic heels to try to look roughly as tall. And these giant clogs on. It was like, whoa. All right.
I have to go back and look at that.
Kelpians have very good footwear. They design, with big platform shoes. So you're like, this is really effective for what I do in my daily life.
Yeah. I was watching a video where he said he has to walk in a particular way because of how tall he is and how he's perched, because they basically have him on heels.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so he's got to walk in a particular way. So that's probably why.
It looks cool. It looks like a fun adaptation. So Michael Burnham convinces Pike to. She was going to get sent down there anyway. So she's like, I think it would be great to have Saru with me, because if I show up, they're going to be like, who the hell are you? And this way we'll have a Kelpian with us.
And, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back. It's like, Pike is like, you're a xenobiologist or whatever. Why don't you go? It's like, who else were you going to send? Come on. Why don't you go?
What we need is, do we have someone in a red shirt that we could send with you? You might need some disposable.
Because maybe he was couching it that way, like, well, I'm going to send Michael because she's a xenobiologist, not you, Saru. No, I'm not sending you. Because you're not a xenobiologist.
Why would you send you?
Yeah,
no. And you're crazy right now. Okay. So they go down to the planet, wander through the little garden areas where we could watch our recap of the short trek. I think it was called Brightest Star, which showed Saru before he was taken off to join Starfleet, right?
Sure.
So we see him, and in fact, had the little moment where he says goodbye to his sister. She doesn't exactly understand what's going on with him when he says goodbye back in the short trek, but she gets it kind of. And then he meets up with Giorgio, and she says, "You can't ever come back," and he's like, "All right, peace out." And he flies away, and the sister watches him fly away.
Yeah.
So that was okay. So anyway, so he's kind of back in that same area. Luckily, even though it's 18 years gone by, she still hangs out in the garden with the thing, and she's like, "Whoop, hey, you." And so it's an interesting scene. So it's Serana, I think is her name.
Yeah.
She is obviously at first very happy to see him. When it becomes apparent that he's not there to see her, that he's just there because the red thing appeared, she's like, screw you. Yeah. You didn't come back for me. You came back because there was a red thing in the sky.
You know, I don't wonder if all that was necessary. I guess they wanted to have extra drama in there.
I will say the one thing that I liked the scene, but the one part that didn't exactly make sense to me is, as she was saying it, I was thinking, wait, didn't in the short trek, wasn't there a thing? And then they showed the scene from the short trek, so they were kind of. She says, "Oh, we thought you were dead. We thought the Baul had taken you because you'd spoken to whatever." She gave something like, "We thought you'd been killed off by the Baul." But and then they show the scene where she saw the ship flying away, and she's like, he's free now. And so that's what I was thinking, that as she's saying it, like, I thought you were dead from the Baul. Like, no, you didn't. That didn't make sense to me. Like that, I'm not sure how that got woven. I mean, maybe she was trying to say our people thought you were dead. But it didn't sound that way. It sounded like she was saying, I personally thought Baul had killed you off because you'd screwed with something and you know, with the order, with the balance.
Right, yeah.
And I don't think, based on the short trek, I didn't get that at all out of her reaction to him flying away.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if she was conflating the culling part where they're with, oh, now he's leaving. You know, so maybe he got accidentally culled or something. Or she believed that somehow that's like a different way they could get somebody who was bad.
Oh, you got the ship treatment.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. She didn't seem horrified or saddened or anything like that in the moment when she witnessed him leaving.
Well, she said she was like inspired.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, she didn't. She thought that. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. It just seemed
confused.
like a weird little inconsistency there with her motivations, but. She kind of moves on to the, hey, good for you, you escaped, but boy, you kind of left us high and dry.
Yeah.
And so, in the middle of their argument about why he's come back, the Baul have been spying on them with their big, drone sensor reading things.
Yeah,
they have
so
in
they
every
start
village.
to basically, like, I would say, attack the planet.
Right, or it seems bad. There is maybe sounds of thunder there. There was kind of a shaking. I don't know if that's
that was right.
And so quickly, Michael and Saru are like, "Well, we gotta bail. Bye."
Yeah.
So they leave. I mean, I think Serana says leave.
Yes, he does.
So.
She's like, no place here or whatever. So she's
Get
kind
out.
of like, I can't believe you came back. You're just making it worse because I guess the Baul are gonna punish us because you're here.
Right. And so there's the Baul are now wanting to talk. They didn't want to talk before, and they're very interested in Saru, especially because when they find out Saru's evolved, Saru with his new state of no fear, like, kind of breaks rank a little bit and starts arguing with the Baul on the,
Yes, I guess he was kind of, I guess, telling them in a matter of fashion that he had evolved, even though I'd be not interested to go back and see that, because it seemed like it wasn't really confirmed until he was on their ship.
Oh, good point.
But
it was.
He was certainly. They were certainly give us back our property. It was like probably enough that.
I thought there was something that suggested they'd evolved in that moment, but I could be wrong.
I mean, he may have said like, "I'm not afraid of you." I don't. Whatever. So
he does mention his sister as well, which I thought is why they took the sister eventually too.
Right.
Like, oh, well done. You mentioned her. Yeah. Let me just capture her as well. So that kind of raises tensions. Pike relieves Saru from duty because he's kind of going off the deep end.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really put a security detail on him.
No, he doesn't.
So it's like, I'll just go and sacrifice myself for the good of my people. So he's going to go and make himself available to the Baul. Michael Burnham shows up and points a gun at him.
Yeah.
I assume that was on stun. She wasn't just going to kill him. How dare you try to sacrifice yourself?
Well, as strong as he is, but yes, he probably wasn't going to kill him.
Yeah, no. But he...
Something I heard pointed out on the, TV podcast. that I didn't even think of, but I should have, is that if you have shields up and they were being kind of attacked,
how do you teleport through it?
Yeah, he would. Maybe when he was at the thing, he was setting it up.
It's like,
so
let me get a little.
Oh, you're gonna
a little Kelpian-sized hole in the middle of the shields.
Yeah.
So he kind of throws out what would you do for your family?
Yeah.
Stop
talking about my family all the time.
My Spock that I'll never actually see because he's not in this episode.
Yeah, that was Michael's Martha.
There is a what name did you say? We see in the trailer for the next episode that perhaps Spock's in it. So whether that's a flashback or it looks like him in modern day. But until some point late in episode 7 probably is when we're not fine. So it is like a mid-season thing. We're going to get Spock, but we didn't get him here at all. They just talked about him and tried to use him as a plot device. It's like, all right. Anyway, so the Ba'ul take Saru, take the sister, and they're in some kind of unknown location. They can't track it. As it turns out, they're in this underwater fortress that we find out later when it comes up from the depths, is what I believe we got out of that. Then we get the appearance of the Ba'ul, or at least one of them. Yep. Just kind of, I don't know. It's like
it emanates.
Oil creature with dreadlocks. It's
black gold, Texas tea.
And it monologues for a bit. It kind of because basically we learn back on the ship, Tilly. What is her name? Arium.
Oh,
I think is her name. I think we learned the name of the android
robot girl.
The pre-data.
Yes.
Data. She's really good at synthesizing data.
I like that joke actually.
What was the joke?
So she was like, "We need to do this because we didn't figure it out." She's like, "Okay, we will do everything we can." He's like, found it. Oh, I meant her.
Yeah,
she's gonna
do it.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Okay,
that was good. And then we now know her name. Its name. I don't know if it's whatever. It's an android. But
I would suggest that worked because it wasn't her being socially inappropriate.
Right.
It was her acknowledging her deficiency in something that, she actually should be deficient in.
Right.
That's not really
She's
what
not going to be as fast as an android at deciphering computer code.
So her comedic reaction there worked.
All right. Yep. Yes, and?
And also, we did have a lot of her in this episode. So
we did not. It was a Doug Jones episode. Yeah. So that in that way, good. Well done. But yeah, so they take the data from the sphere. Remember, they took this into the history of the universe, more or less.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm hoping that this doesn't become a constant cheat where they're just like, "What do we need to know something? Oh, look, we got this thing. Oh, look, we have the bio data of Kelpians for the last 3,000 years in a graph form that show." I'm like, what? I mean, how would you gather that? Anyway, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. On a one-shot basis, I'm just saying if that becomes the cheat, a la, the holodeck and you just be like, well, we need a thing that can do whatever we want. Oh, we'll just use the thing that is whatever we want. Great, now we know whatever we want. Okay. In this case, they find out.
It just reminded me, like, if it occurred in the original series, at least for some of the episodes anyway, somebody should be looking like a little Viewmaster, those little like Viewmaster.
And it has that little white images.
Yeah. Like, oh, it seems like the history of their is this.
Yeah. Spock was usually pretty good at like, oh, look at here. The Kelpians were the predators once upon a time.
Yeah.
So, the theory was that the Ba'ul are the predator species. Kelpians have always been the prey. Well, according to this biodata they got, Kelpians were the predator. They almost wiped out the Ba'ul, who are the prey. And at some point, the Ba'ul figured out tech. They got, Silicon Valley showed up and they were like, woo! And they turned things around and flipped the history so that they made the Kelpians think they were the prey species.
The predator.
No, they made them think they were the prey.
Right, you made the Kelpians think that they were the prey. Yes.
Correct. So, So that's the big like secret. I thought the secret might be that the Baul were the evolved versions of Kelpians.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna see the father who was long dead. Like, okay, now that's what happened to him. He didn't get culled. He got called up to be. But no.
Or I thought that once the oil came off of the thing, it would be like flip. Oh look, I'm a Kelpian. You know, like I just look this way because I'm covered in oil all the time.
It's like, oh, that's best after you've evolved.
Yes.
Cover yourself in oil.
Cover yourself in oil. It feels so good.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, pretty much without the use of biodata, Saru figures that out for himself while he's being imprisoned. It's like, wait, we were the predator species. Well done, you. Hey, smart guy. Anyway, they have these drones. They're gonna kill Saru. And it seems like the Baul have a lot of machinery do stuff for them instead of doing stuff themselves. In fact, we only see one Baul, which is I thought was a little cheap. I don't know. I would have preferred to have seen multiple ones, but
I would
they had their drones.
preferred if they weren't goo.
Yeah, it does make you wonder, like, how do they even come up with that tech? Why would that tech even be useful to them if they're just goo creatures?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't the tech exist in the goo?
Well, it's like, I understand that, they've done as much as they can with, say, Saru with his face makeup, because it's slightly different than the bump that you see with a lot of races.
Sure.
So
forehead ridge.
And little ridges in the back. But while it might seem cool to get some species that you obviously need computer graphics to render, then it diminishes the ability they'll be able to communicate. So you're setting it up in this story.
That's a good point.
That the Kelpians and the Baul. I was gonna say Baru.
The Bowels.
Yeah, I know. It's like anyway, the crap people. They ultimately should be getting along better, so they should interact with each other more. And you don't just want to come back next year or whatever and we figured it out. It's like you should show the difficulties that people have and sort of.
And we're going to get to that in terms of the solution to their problem. It seems really ill thought out, and it kind of lends itself to.
Why don't you cast it? It's like. You don't have to do as cheap and ridiculous as the original series episode with the half people. You don't have to do that, but come on, you can do something.
It would be funny if you did come back a year later and you've got on the surface of the planet Kelpians hanging out at a bar with all of these black goo things. They're with red glowing eyes. This is really good ice cream. We really get along well. Here's a song I made. I don't know. You don't get that from this group.
You're imagining some sort of coffee shop?
Yeah, there's a coffee
people
shop.
Snapping.
Yeah.
and these squid people.
The squid people just snapping their dreadlocks. I don't know. Saru decides, with the help of Michael Burnham and company, he works out a way to contact the ship. Hey everybody, here's the deal. This is what we should do.
Yeah.
And it's decided they're going to instantaneously evolve every Kelpian so that they can see that evolving doesn't kill them, and that look, what you've been told is a lie. So we're going to evolve everyone prematurely, artificially, let's say, by giving them the sound waves that are from the sphere, which triggered Saru.
Yeah.
So they're going to do it, and they do, and that's what happens. And then all of the Kelpians lose their fear response after suffering great pain. We see the great pain moments.
Yeah, but you should be clear that they did it partly because the Baul were enacting the final solution.
But were they acting the final solution before they did that? Or was that did the Baul... I thought the Baul enacted the final solution as a result of that. Am I wrong? Okay.
I don't think so. Maybe, okay. That's interesting.
I thought that was maybe the response from the Baul was like, oh, you did that with our tech? So be it. Kill everyone.
Because I feel like... Maybe.
I think it was because they were trying to kill Saru. I mean, Saru's immediate health was in danger. They were trying to kill him also. He's like, smash, smash, smash. Hey, this is what we need to do. Let's evolve everyone. They do it, and then the Baul realize, oh, we're going to be screwed now. So let's kill everyone off.
I don't think that's right.
Okay. Well, if in the comments, let us know what was the point at which the Baul decided to try to do genocide. Yeah. Was it before Saru decided to, or before everyone decided to evolve the Kelpians, or was it as a response to the evolution of the Kelpians?
Yeah, because
I thought it was a response, but I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. As you sit here with the ponderous, the pensive face, I can't tell if I was right or wrong.
There were a number of different activities, but yeah, it'd probably be two. Yeah. Okay.
So
tell us how wrong we are.
How wrong? Yeah. So the Baul are gonna kill everyone, basically all the Kelpians on the and there's too many pylons that they're using to kill people too.
Stop. Yeah,
there's like 4,000.
Yeah, it was one of like we'll begin.
Yeah, might as well start to take out 20 of them.
Yeah.
So they're trying. The Discovery's trying to take out the pylons.
Das ist Mark Angel comes in.
The Red Angel shows up. I guess maybe I don't. If I were to throw out a reason why the Red Angel didn't show up earlier, perhaps the Red Angel needed this. I'm trying because the Red Angel pulled Discovery there, right?
Sure.
Hey, Discovery, come help me do something. So maybe the Red Angel needed Discovery to poke at the Baul enough to have the Baul come out of the swamp or whatever.
Who knows?
So that then it could attack their machinery.
Who knows?
I don't know. But in any case, Red Angel shows up and deactivates all of the weapons. Everyone's saved.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Saru gets a good look at the Red Angel and determines a few points. It's a human.
Savior!
Humanoid in a mech suit.
Yeah.
And we also see it disappear. Like it's like, looks like my job's done. Schwump.
Yeah.
End transmission. Thing. And so, as a result of saving his people, we'll talk about this right because it seems really ill-advised what they did. But in any case, in the moment, everything's great. So he's Saru says, "Hey, sister, you can come with me for a while if you want." She's like, "I gotta stay on the planet, gotta help people out." Unlike you, who left the planet.
Hey, the people have a lot of problems there. I think I should help them out.
Yeah, but you go ahead. You go fly around the stars. Your little starship.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. And so that convinces Michael to say, "You know what? I'm going to go back to Vulcan."
Yeah.
I mean, we know Spock's not there, but I guess she wants to go back to Vulcan to like talk to her mom again, or I don't know. What is she going to get out of it?
I feel as if she's actually saying, "Look at that! Look at how he gained from reconnecting with his culture, basically."
Okay.
I feel like that's actually what she's saying. I don't think it's a part of. Well, it might be a part of trying to find Spock, and that she's perhaps trying clues or something about where he might have gone. Mm-hmm. So that's my guess that. She's saying that oh, look at this, what he did, in terms of reconnecting and all that, because that's what they're asking. Like you know him, do you know where he might be? So I think that's why she's doing it. But at least part of it I felt at the moment was sort of like, wow, he went back to his culture and connected and really got something out of it. I should do that too.
Okay, all right. Because what we see from the trailer for the next episode, it doesn't look like they get to Vulcan, or at least the parts we see are not, because they're in the middle of space and there's this big rift, and she quotes Alice in Wonderland about falling down a well, and anyway, it doesn't seem like they're at Vulcan at that moment, although we do see Spock and she's talking to him, it appears. So let's talk real fast. I know we're getting a little long here, but let's talk about the choice to evolve the Kelpians to solve their problems. Like, it just seemed like a really rash. They didn't think about any of the. One of the things I appreciated about Khan back in the original series, and then leading to the second movie, The Wrath of Khan, was Space Seed.
Space Seed. Okay.
Space Seed was one of these things where it was like, oh, we've got this problem. There's a prime directive thing, but you know what? We'll leave you on a planet. you guys can conquer to your heart's desire. Great. And I'm sure we solved that problem.
Right.
And then it was so really cool to see, like, no, actually, there were some real ramifications for what you did. Everything just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Here, I hope that is a case here, because they left a lot of possibility for violence and turmoil and just really, really bad outcomes could come from this. And it's played off, at least in the moment, like, that's why the Red Angel showed up.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is what we were supposed to do, and we did it.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that we, first of all, we hear from 2 episodes ago when people, there were Kelpians that did do this Verahai, something, I forgot the title. Anyway, they went through this process and went mad. So there's like a section of people, of Kelpians, that go crazy.
Well, I feel as if that perhaps that's the thing they tell them. Don't. If you do and try and don't die, then you will go mad.
So you think it's more of a myth?
Yes.
As opposed to something they actually witnessed?
Yes.
Okay.
Because really, it's like...
So for thousands of years, no one's ever been around long enough to go through that process?
Well, they are all scared.
They are all scared.
So if a fearful race, like, oh, you don't do this because something bad will happen.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
I hear you.
Okay. It's like, because just think about it. You'd have to be able to tell, okay, this one isn't going to be a danger. This one's just going to be crazy. Don't call this one.
So you've got the situation of then you're going to have, like, I assume baby Kelpians will be born, and then they're going to still have these fear receptors, and they're going to have to either
or they were
not.
all prematurely, fell off. So even the kids maybe lost their things.
I'm just saying there'll be future kids as well. I mean, it'll be like a weird societal rift where you'll have the haves and the have-nots. I have a feeling. I don't know. Maybe I'm just feeling like there's some issues you maybe want to think about before you just go.
Yes, you're
flip
right.
The switch.
You're right. One thing you said is, or I heard someone suggest that maybe the result of that might mean that they're can't have kids or something.
Oh,
so
I didn't
it's like you don't know what's going to happen.
Right, you don't know all the side effects.
Yeah, right.
Oh, this part of your evolution.
Because what we do know is that for a couple thousand years, they were killed after this process.
That's a good point.
And they've been having babies, and a lot of times some change happens when a creature or a species has. And
you're right. Without knowing all the details, there's probably a few good reasons for this evolutionary change.
Yeah.
And just to get rid of it, you don't need eyes.
Yeah.
Eyes just mean you go blind eventually, so we'll just turn them off.
Right.
Well, wait. We have a need for those.
Right. So one thing I was suggesting to you before is that they were. Perhaps it was lip service, or it was designed into this story. The whole idea of, hey, let's not interfere with this culture, and then, boom, let's just interfere with it like that, where maybe we're going to see the results of that afterwards. Like, okay, no, see, it really is a good idea to not interfere with cultures.
Yeah,
Even though, what they might be doing is just a sloppy way of doing what they always did on the original series. And, if you look at it, perhaps sometimes too in Next Generation and other ones where it's like, we're not going to interfere until we actually do interfere.
Right. Which is why I brought up the space seed, because I thought it was a kind of a good way of showing that it didn't always work out.
Well, if you think about it, right, like the whole thing of space seed and then Wrath of Khan sets a bunch of weird sort of things, because basically what happened is the Khan and all the people there decided, you know what, we're going to make ourselves really good, so we're going to genetically manipulate ourselves to be Superman and take over the planet. And then after that, they're like, oh, you can't do that anymore because you might become Superman and take over the planet. So it's illegal to do that now. And then, so that group of people was lost for time. And so when they discovered, they're like, okay, now we're going to take over everybody. Oh, no, put them on this planet. Right? And so... all these ramifications of things that came up. And so, this whole thing about they were part of your culture.
It's true.
But you have...
interfered a lot already.
Yeah.
and then interfered for the final time
Yeah.
before having to kill them all.
Right. So all the sorts of crazy sort of ideas come about, and I think it's not the best solution to be sort of like you can't do any genetic manipulation as a result of that, as we saw in Deep Space Nine with
Your favorite.
Julian Bashir, who who manipulated, and then he just got a little smarter. That's all. He didn't take over anybody.
He didn't take over
No,
people?
no, he just got smarter and did a lot of interesting surgical procedures. So.
It's very cold in space. He never had that monologue. But yeah, so also the idea that you've now set up, I mean, the Ba'ul are still a vastly, even Michael Burnham even says, we've made the predator species the predators again, but their tech is way limited, so they've got years before they'll catch up.
And
so that means to me, either the Ba'ul will try to kill them off while they can, or eventually there'll be another genocide the other direction. I don't know. There's a lot of ways they can go wrong.
It's like, Saru, I'm going to leave because we'll decide to get along with the new balance. We'll just get along better.
Yeah.
I'll leave, though, because that's how you make that happen. And my sister, who's, became a priest because I decided to leave or whatever, she'll make that happen. All these... other Kelpians who are aggressive now.
Yeah, who are newly really aggressive.
Yes.
And have no fear. Their fear response is being contained. Will be completely forgiving for the Ba'ul and be like, you know what? You killed us for literally thousands of years. Yeah, my dad, my sister, everybody's dead thanks to you, but bygones. I'm sure they'll be fine. It just didn't work. It doesn't make sense. I would say the most logical solution, or maybe the one that would make the most sense, might be to have Starfleet come in and not blockade exactly, but basically monitor the Ba'ul. The Ba'ul are a warped civilization now, so they can be interfered with, and just say, hey, if you do anything screwy, we're here, and we're going to make sure you don't do anything screwy. I don't get the feeling that they're doing that. Now, they did. No. The Pike did say, you will make an enemy of us if you screw, at one point.
Yeah, that was...
Anyway, I'm just saying, it just didn't. The plan as it was executed, I'm hoping that it wasn't just sloppy writing. Where they're like, oh, this will solve. This ties this up in a bow. Right. I'm sure there'll be no problems. I would give them a lot of credit if we do see at some point that I don't know. Season 3, end of season 2, something like that, where you come back and you're like, oh, there's actually a whole lot of problems. We didn't think this through. That would be great. Yeah. If they don't do that, I feel like it's kind of simplistic. This is the perfect way and 100% success. Got it.
Yeah, I could go either way on what I think will happen, because they did set it. It wasn't just like boom, this is an episode. They have a they had
they did the short track. They had another episode with Saru.
Right. So, they
thought about it.
Yeah, and they could have had someone other than his sister be the one to do that, but they still have his sister around. So, either she'll be like a Gandhi or whatever for this planet, or there'll be troubles that she's running into, and they'll have to help her. So. Yeah. I'm hoping that's the case, but who knows? Maybe it's not. Maybe this is what.
This was like one of the 7 bursts.
Yeah.
They've now handled it.
Yeah.
Got another clue.
We'll see.
The clue is it's a person in a suit, time traveling. So who's the person in the suit time traveling?
Oh, I don't know. My suspicion maybe might be one of Spock's parents.
Which I like that idea, as I don't understand how they could possibly have that tech.
You like it better than Spock.
I do like it better than Spock. Spock himself or Michael Burnham, those two, that would make me hurt. But yeah, the Amanda, the mom idea.
Better than that, though, would be somebody else entirely. Although you'd have to ask, why are they messing with the Spock family?
Why do they keep bringing Discovery into it? Why are they doing things specifically that seem to regard the crew of the Discovery?
It's a mystery.
So I just, Amanda was wearing a red dress. The mom was wearing a very striking red dress the first time we saw her in the very first scene of this season. She's now intimately involved with this storyline where she's been in, and she's like, I'm going to find Spock.
Yeah.
She's an active participant. Yes. She's not just exposition. it could lean that way, or it could be because she wasn't able to express the love for Spock that she wanted to. Maybe this is her way of going back and retconning by time travel, which never goes wrong.
Your real mother doesn't love you, but the space mom
mom
does.
As you mentioned in the Kelvin timeline, in the future she died.
Yes.
And probably way before she could have done the Red Angel thing.
Yeah.
But in the prime timeline, or whatever you want to call it, the original timeline,
yes,
she would still be alive.
Oh,
she got to old age. Anyway.
Well, I just don't know when she died.
Right, we don't know when
I
she
feel
did,
as if they, she actually may have died at some point.
But in the Kelvin timeline, she'd be dead within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
And so that seems unlikely that coming back. I mean,
yeah.
she could
yeah.
get that tech. Yeah. Anyway, there you go, everybody. Discovery. We will be back next week. We're probably going to be talking about the Umbrella Academy. So that will be a thing. I've got a Lord of the Rings topic I'm talking about, and we'll be back with Discovery Episode 7. Spock? That's the actual title, probably. Spock?
Yeah. Question mark?
Question mark?
Question mark?
So until then, thanks, everybody. We will see you next time. Bye.